South Africa, a land of breathtaking landscapes, vibrant cultures, and warm hospitality. This country, located at the southern tip of the African continent, is a place where natural beauty and human diversity come together in a unique and captivating way. From the majestic Table Mountain, which stands as a sentinel over Cape Town, to the vast expanses of the Kruger National Park, teeming with wildlife, South Africa offers a visual feast for the senses. The country's natural wonders are a testament to its rich biodiversity and ecological significance. The country pulsates with life and beauty. Its vibrant street scenes, stunning coastal landscapes, and the colorful display of traditional attire during cultural celebrations all contribute to the rich tapestry that is South Africa. The rhythm of the nation is felt in its music, its dance, and the warmth of its people. Yet, beneath this vibrant surface lies a history marred by deep-rooted inequality and the enduring legacy of racial segregation. The scars of apartheid, a system of institutionalized racial discrimination that lasted for nearly half a century, are still visible today. The struggle for freedom and equality has left an indelible mark on the nation's collective memory. South Africa's story is one of stark contrasts. It is a land where the opulence of affluent neighborhoods exists side by side with the stark reality of impoverished townships. This juxtaposition is a daily reminder of the economic and social divides that continue to shape the lives of its people. It's a nation celebrated for its peaceful transition from apartheid to democracy, a transition symbolized by the iconic image of Nelson Mandela casting his vote in the first free elections. This moment marked the dawn of a new era, filled with hope and the promise of a better future for all South Africans. South Africa became a beacon of hope for reconciliation and progress, often referred to as the Rainbow Nation for its diverse and multicultural society. The spirit of unity and the desire for a harmonious coexistence are deeply ingrained in the national consciousness. However, it grapples with the complexities of its past. The legacy of apartheid continues to influence the present as the nation works to heal the wounds of division and build a more inclusive society. Older generations recount their experiences, while younger South Africans strive to understand and overcome the challenges inherited from their predecessors. With millions still excluded from the economic prosperity enjoyed by a privileged few, the disparity is impossible to ignore. The contrast between the wealth of some and the poverty of many is stark and pervasive, affecting every aspect of life, from education and healthcare to employment and housing. This disparity is impossible to ignore. It is evident in the divide between rich and poor areas, where luxury vehicles share the roads with old, overcrowded buses, and children from vastly different economic backgrounds attend schools with vastly different resources. Drive through the leafy suburbs of Johannesburg, and you'll witness affluence and modernity. Upscale shopping districts, tree-lined streets, and modern houses paint a picture of prosperity and success. The luxury homes and bustling business districts of Johannesburg showcase the economic potential and architectural innovation that the city has to offer. It is a testament to what can be achieved in a nation with abundant resources and talent. But venture just a few kilometers away, and you'll encounter sprawling townships. These areas, often characterized by informal settlements and inadequate infrastructure, stand in stark contrast to the wealthier parts of the city. The townships are a stark reminder of the economic and social divides that continue to plague the nation. Here, the daily struggle for survival is a reality for many, and the dream of a better life remains elusive for too many South Africans. The contrast between the city and the townships is a powerful illustration of the challenges that South Africa faces. In the townships, daily life is marked by resilience and community spirit, as people come together to support one another in the face of adversity. The challenge for South Africa today is to bridge this gap. Community development projects and government housing initiatives are steps in the right direction, but much more needs to be done to ensure that all South Africans can share in the nation's prosperity. To forge a future where the beauty of its land is reflected in the lives of all its people, South Africa must continue to strive for equality and justice. The natural beauty of the country, juxtaposed with the vibrancy of its human activity, serves as a reminder of the potential for harmony and unity. A future where the promise of equality, enshrined in its constitution, becomes a tangible reality. The South African flag waving proudly, people engaging with the Constitution, and scenes of unity and equality are symbols of the nation's ongoing journey towards a more just and inclusive society. To understand South Africa's present, we must confront its past. The history of South Africa is a tapestry woven with threads of struggle, resilience, and hope. The legacy of apartheid is not just a chapter in history books, it is a living, breathing reality that continues to influence the lives of millions. From 1948 to 1994, the brutal system of apartheid reigned supreme. This period was marked by institutionalized racial segregation and discrimination, a dark era that left indelible marks on the nation's soul. This legalized segregation touched every aspect of life. Public spaces, schools, and even benches were divided along racial lines, creating a society where the color of one's skin determined their place in the world. Black South Africans were denied basic rights, relegated to second-class citizenship in their own land. They were subjected to harsh laws that restricted their movement, employment, and even their ability to live with their families. Apartheid was more than just a social ill, it was an economic weapon. The system was designed to ensure that the wealth and resources of the country remained in the hands of the white minority, while the black majority was systematically impoverished. Black South Africans were deliberately excluded from opportunities. They were forced into menial jobs with little pay, and their neighborhoods were underdeveloped and overcrowded. They were denied access to quality education, restricted from owning land, and confined to menial jobs with meager wages. The education system was designed to keep them subservient, with schools that were underfunded and teachers who were often unqualified. This systematic disenfranchisement created a chasm of inequality. The economic disparity between the white minority and the black majority was stark and pervasive, affecting every aspect of life. White South Africans, a minority in the population, controlled the vast majority of the country's wealth. They lived in affluent neighborhoods with access to the best schools, healthcare, and opportunities. Black South Africans, meanwhile, were trapped in a cycle of poverty and deprivation. Their communities were plagued by high unemployment, poor living conditions, and limited access to essential services. The legacy of this injustice is deeply entrenched. The scars of apartheid are visible in the economic and social fabric of the nation, affecting generations of South Africans. Generations were denied the chance to build wealth, acquire skills, and participate fully in the economy. The impact of this systemic exclusion is still felt today, with many black South Africans struggling to break free from the chains of poverty. The dismantling of apartheid was a crucial step. The release of Nelson Mandela and the subsequent end of apartheid marked the beginning of a new era, filled with hope and the promise of equality. But the scars of this oppressive system continue to shape South Africa's social and economic landscape. The journey towards true equality and economic justice is ongoing, as the nation grapples with the enduring legacy of its past. The struggle for a fair and just society is far from over, and the lessons of apartheid serve as a powerful reminder of the importance of resilience, unity, and the relentless pursuit of justice. The fall of apartheid in 1994 brought immense hope. It was a momentous occasion, a turning point in history that signaled the end of decades of institutionalized racial segregation and discrimination. The world watched with bated breath as South Africa took its first steps towards a new era of freedom and equality. The world watched in awe as South Africa, led by Nelson Mandela, embarked on a remarkable journey of reconciliation and rebuilding. Mandela's vision of a united nation, where all citizens could live together in harmony, inspired millions. His leadership was instrumental in guiding the country through its turbulent transition, fostering a spirit of forgiveness and unity. A new constitution, lauded as one of the most progressive in the world, promised equality, justice, and dignity for all. This groundbreaking document enshrined the rights of every individual, regardless of race, gender, or background, and laid the foundation for a democratic society. It was a beacon of hope, a symbol of the nation's commitment to building a fair and just future. The transition was not without its challenges. The legacy of apartheid left deep scars on the social and economic fabric of the country. Communities were divided, and the wounds of the past were still raw. The new government faced the monumental task of healing these divisions and addressing the systemic inequalities that had been entrenched for so long. The new government inherited a fractured society, a shattered economy, and the daunting task of redressing decades of systematic inequality. The challenges were immense, from rebuilding infrastructure to providing basic services to millions of disadvantaged citizens. The journey towards a more equitable society was fraught with obstacles, but the determination to overcome them was unwavering. While progress has been made, the reality is that many of apartheid's victims are still awaiting the fruits of liberation. Economic disparities remain stark. The promise of a better life has yet to be fully realized for many, as poverty and unemployment continue to plague large segments of the population. The struggle for economic justice is ongoing. Despite some black South Africans ascending to positions of power and influence, the majority are still trapped in poverty. The rise of a black middle class and the success of black entrepreneurs are positive signs, but they are not enough to lift the masses out of destitution. The gap between the haves and the have-nots remains a significant barrier to true equality. The gap between rich and poor, often delineated along racial lines, is a constant source of tension. The stark contrast between affluent neighborhoods and impoverished townships is a daily reminder of the work that still needs to be done. Bridging this divide is crucial for the nation's stability and the realization of its democratic ideals. The dream of a rainbow nation, a harmonious society where all races coexist as equals, remains elusive. While there have been strides towards inclusivity and mutual respect, the journey is far from complete. The younger generation, however, carries the torch of hope, striving to build a future where the ideals of the Rainbow Nation can be fully realized. The challenge for South Africa is to translate the promise of freedom into tangible improvements in the lives of all its citizens. This means not only addressing economic disparities but also fostering social cohesion and ensuring that every individual has the opportunity to thrive. The road ahead is long, but with continued effort and dedication, the vision of a truly united and prosperous South Africa can become a reality. Section 4: Economic Headwinds, Unemployment and Stagnant Growth. South Africa faces significant economic challenges. Unemployment is rampant, particularly among young people. The official unemployment rate hovers around 30%, but the real figure, including those who have given up looking for work, is likely much higher. Economic growth has been sluggish in recent years. The country has struggled to attract foreign investment, hampered by corruption, political instability, and a lack of infrastructure development. This lackluster economic performance has made it difficult to create jobs and uplift the living standards of the poor. The COVID-19 pandemic exacerbated these problems. Lockdowns and global economic uncertainty hit South Africa hard, leading to job losses and business closures. The government's response, while well-intentioned, has been criticized for being slow and inadequate. Addressing these economic woes is crucial for South Africa's future. Creating a more inclusive economy where opportunities are available to all is essential for social stability and national progress. Section 5: Education and Opportunity, the lingering effects of inequality. Education is often hailed as the great equalizer, the key to unlocking potential and achieving upward mobility. However, in South Africa, the education system still bears the scars of apartheid. Under apartheid, black schools were deliberately underfunded and under-resourced. This legacy of inequality persists today. Many schools in disadvantaged communities lack basic infrastructure, qualified teachers, and essential learning materials. This disparity in educational opportunities has a profound impact on life outcomes. Young people from impoverished backgrounds often lack the skills and qualifications needed to compete in the job market. They are trapped in a cycle of poverty, their potential stifled by a system that continues to fail them. Investing in quality education for all is not just a moral imperative, it's an economic necessity. By equipping young South Africans with the tools they need to succeed, the country can unlock its true potential and build a more prosperous future.